Greetings fellow ukuleleans, Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a new tutorial. Today I'd like to talk about picking. We haven't done anything on fingerstyle ukulele in a while, so let's get right into it. That was a tune by Hank Williams, Jambalaya. It's a nice vehicle to learn about picking. I did a couple of different styles in there and I'd like to go over those. I'm going to break it down into three patterns basically. The first pattern is based on Travis picking, the famous Merle Travis from the 50s. Great country guitar player who influenced Chet Atkins and Tommy Emmanuel and so many people that came after him. He had this picking style where on the guitar you would alternate bass strings. You would play a certain string with your thumb as the bass note, and then you would play a different string, and he would alternate between those two strings, giving you kind of that boom chick country feel. Real innovative style on guitar. And we can adapt that to our little ukuleles by not having bass strings so much, but just doing the alternating thumb thing. That's exactly what drives this pattern. It's what makes Travis picking on any instrument that's a plucked string instrument really tick. And so let's get the first pattern together. We're on, of course, Jambalaya by Hank Williams being only a C chord and a G7 chord, hence it being one of the most easy and popular ukulele songs in the world. If you can play C and G7, you can play Jambalaya. It's real simple. So instead of strumming that song, I know a lot of you probably do this song on your own or with a group, and you strum the chords and sing them. We do in Mid-Coast Ukes. Goodbye, Joe, me gotta go, me oh my oh. Me gotta go, pull the P-road down the bayou, etc., etc. So that might give you, a good start learning it as a strumming tune. That's a whole lot of fun, but as a picking tune it makes for a little more of a challenge, but it's really fun. So let's get into this picking pattern. We pick our G string first with our thumb, an open G. So easy, anybody, even if you've never done fingerstyle ukulele in your life, you could simply manage that, no problem. And then what we do is a pinch. We play our C string with our thumb, and we play our A string with our middle, and play them simultaneously, otherwise known as a pinch. And so the first half of that picking pattern is thumb and then thumb and middle together, all on a C chord, by the way. Second half is hit your open G again, hit your E string with your index this time, and then finally hit that C string again with your thumb. So that gives you that alternating with your thumb doing a different string each time. First the G, then the C. G, C, G, C. That's going on underneath, driving the pulse of the tune. And on top of that is very typical Travis picking. So you want to do that for 2 bars on a C chord, and 2 bars on a G7 chord. Again with G7 for 2, but back to 2 for C. That's kind of the setup for the entire song Jambalaya. Very easy. 2 bars of C, 4 bars of G7, 2 bars of C, and you're done. You just do that over and over and over. So it's a nice, accessible tune. Hopefully this is a good vehicle for you to learn how to do fingerstyle ukulele and get into picking. That's one of the most common things that people ask me to show them about is fingerstyle uke. Of course, strumming, rhythm, that's common. Chord changes, how do you do those hard chords like B minor and B flat and that sort of thing. Those come up, but I'd say fingerstyle is right up there in those most asked about topics. So here you go. This is for all of you out there that want to dip your big toe into the waters of fingerstyle ukulele and we're afraid to ask. This is like a good entry level kind of thing. All right, so we started there. That was an easy pattern. That was a basic Travis pick, just to review. You're doing thumb on the G. You're pinching the C and the A with your thumb and middle. You're doing the G again with your thumb, the E with your index, and the C with your thumb. 2 halves. The first half and the second half. Put them together. Go a little faster. Faster. And you do So that's your easy, stress-free entry level into fingerstyle ukulele. All right, let's make it a little more complicated. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a note at the end. It's not just going to rest on that open C. It's going to include now another note on the A string. So adding one note to the end of that pattern. So I did everything I did before, but I'm adding with my middle finger one last A string at the end. In slow motion, that's So always take it slow when you're first learning something. Practice it over and over. Try to get it in time. Try to get a steady pulse going there. And then gradually speed it up. And one thing you can do if you're just practicing the pattern and you're not worried about your left hand and chords, you could simply do it on open strings, a C6 or A minor 7 chord, like this. Or that second pattern we did. If you don't want to disturb people, if anyone's sleeping or watching TV, or you don't want to make a racket and disturb people, but you want to get in some practicing, or you want to practice while doing something else, like watching a sports event on TV or your favorite quiz show or whatever you do while you're practicing, you could just sit down on the couch and watch TV and go like this. And that doesn't make so much sound that it would disturb somebody. And you can watch whatever it is you're watching. But I'm doing the picking pattern on muted strings. I have my left hand covering the strings, and I'm doing the right hand moves without making a whole lot of sound. Do it really soft, and you can barely hear it. Good for late night practicing. But when you're able to go all out and you can go full volume, do the real thing. Now the last pattern I want to show you is a 2-measure pattern. It's a lot like the second pattern that we learned with the note on the end, but then we changed the second measure. So it's going to be like this. Sounds a little more varied, you know, there's a little bit more going on there because it's longer. It's a 2-measure pattern. You're just doing more. It's a little more involved. So again, you're doing the second pattern. With that added note at the end that makes it different from the first pattern. And then we're doing even more notes. Then we're doing like a banjo roll, or one thing I like to call the every other pattern. We're picking G string with the thumb, E string with the index, C string with the thumb, A string with the middle. And you do that twice to cover 4 beats. Every other pattern is what I call that, because it's every other string. Like a banjo roll. That by itself is a cool pattern, but combine it with our pattern number 2 and you get pattern number 2, our banjo roll, put together. Real slow. Makes it a whole lot of picking, but when you hear it slow, it's not so bad. It's only when you approach those high kind of bluegrass banjo speeds. Then it sounds a little intimidating, a little Beverly Hillbilly like, but it's not so bad. spot, you do it at Jed Clampett tempos. Then you're talking. All right, ukulele people, hope you enjoyed that. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to click the notify bell to see when I come out with new videos. And I will make a nice handy dandy sheet available, very neat computer generated tab with chord diagrams and everything you need to know. Now I will put that up on Patreon. I'll leave a link below so you can access that. And I appreciate you watching. You take care, ukulele people. Bye-bye.